A few years ago, I went on vacation with some friends, and we went to New York. It was my first time in New York City. It was a really, really good trip. We went to see a play on Broadway. We went to a Yankee game, but we enjoyed ourselves. It was a lot of fun. I remember, though, going from South Louisiana, small town in South Louisiana, to going on vacation to a big city like New York. It was a massive culture shock. I remember we were trying to navigate the public transit system and between the subway and the bus system and everything else. It was just a lot. I remember walking and everybody flying past and people going here and there and every which way. If you stop, you were getting bumped into or run over. So I remember just kind of getting in the flow of traffic and hoping that that group of people was going where I wanted to go. When we got into the downtown area, though, I remember there was a moment where it's awe. It was a feeling of awe as I looked around at the buildings. New Orleans has a couple of tall buildings, but nothing like the skyscrapers of New York. Hundreds of floors and 90 floors and 80 floors tall and just really, really beautiful and really, really intimidating even. And I remember as I was walking around, I want to say it was Times Square or one of these areas, I just kind of stopped and was looking up. And as I was looking up, somebody bumped into me, and now all of a sudden my awe got turned into anger and frustration, and we started fight. No, I'm kidding. But it was just a very, very, it was just something that I wanted to kind of sit and just look at the magnificence of these structures, but I couldn't because I was still in the hustle and bustle of the city. In today's first reading, it's a very interesting moment because Jesus is about to ascend to the Father. And as he's about to ascend to the Father, what he sees is that his apostles are still waiting for him to do the thing, right? He's supposed to redeem Israel. He's supposed to be this leader and all these things. And Jesus is basically saying, no, it's your turn. So he ascends to the Father, and as he ascends to the Father, the apostles all are standing there and they're just waiting. And they see this beautiful moment. They see this magnificence that takes place, and Jesus disappears from their sight into heaven. And they just stand there looking up, just waiting, in awe, inspired. But they don't move. In fact, the way the first reading says, it says, when he had said this, as they were looking on, he was lifted up and a cloud took him from their sight. While they were looking intently at the sky, as he was going, suddenly two men dressed in white garments stood beside them. And this is what they said, "Men of Galilee, why are you standing there looking at the sky?" I find that this line is so important in the scriptures. It's so important for the feast that we celebrate today of the Ascension, because Jesus' mission of the incarnation, of becoming man, of living out his life as a man in a family, of the miracles and preaching and everything that he did through his public ministry, to his passion, death, and resurrection, comes to its fulfillment here in the Ascension, that he goes back to the Father. And over and over and over again, he tells his apostles that he's going to send them out, that he's going to equip them with the Holy Spirit, and he's going to send them out, that it's their turn to go and proclaim the gospel. It's their turn to go and heal. It's their turn, right, to live out and do everything we read in the Acts of the Apostles that we've been reading over these last few weeks and during this Easter season. And yet, when the moment to go comes up, the apostles balk. The apostles freeze, and they would rather just kind of be looking up, staring at the sky, wondering, when is it, Jesus, that you're going to do the work? When in reality, it's the apostles' turn. I think for us as Christians, sometimes we look and we can wait for someone else to do the work. We can wait for someone else to proclaim the gospel. We can wait for someone else to share their faith. We can wait for someone else to come out with the right resource or the right whatever, right? To preach the gospel in all these different areas of life. But it's our call. Do we find ourselves frozen, looking at Jesus, just waiting, looking up? Or do we see ourselves as part of the mission? Do we see ourselves as being sent out and being equipped by the gifts of the Holy Spirit by virtue of our baptism, our confirmation, and the Eucharist that we celebrate every time we come to Mass? Or are we just looking up and waiting? This is a stagnant faith. It's not very vibrant. It's kind of comfortable. We're not made for comfort, as Pope Benedict said. We're made for greatness. And the greatness of going out and proclaiming the gospel, preaching the gospel, and being the Christians that we have been baptized to be, that we have been confirmed to be, we put to use the gift that we have been given. May today, in this Ascension, on this Feast of the Ascension, may we be the missionaries that God is calling us to be. That we don't find ourselves just looking up at the sky and waiting, but that we go out and we proclaim and preach the gospel.